big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Hey, foreign cars, foreign seats with the foreign leather. Foreign number, put the card in the ATM in the sad era. Yeah, flex mode, this ain't Southwest, this is jet. I ain't gotta shut the cell off, cause the iPhone don't got a jet mode. Bad be pesto. If you wanna come, let's go. We ain't going nowhere special. I just wanna see more desto. Hit your throw and I'ma catch those. Mexican, dummy pesos. Hit your sauce, I'll replace those. Number save, no name though. We need more, tell them we need more. Put numbers on the board, let them keep a score. Hey, 16 cars in my front yard. Hey, 30 on my wrist, bullet points of God.
Big numbers, big numbers. 100-minute bag, that's a big number. Big numbers, big numbers. Whole team counted, that's a big number.
Yeah, wrist man, check the wrist man, got him hot. Ay, man can't ball like this, man. Lord, past the pig skin when he stretch a distance. I'm talking a few 100,000 yards, you just on your 5th grand. Run it up.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Ready. Go 58's the money. Set the tone, defense. Set the tone, defense. Let's go.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage, and he'll be corralled right around the 34. A 10-yard pickup, and it's an...
You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run here with Ballage. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Corey Littleton there on the tackle.
Well, it didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10.
Watch the screen.
Jackson from the shotgun. Brought in over the middle by Graham. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down. And a nice start there to the aerial attack to pick up the 1st.
And I think preseason is officially over now. Getting into the groove of the regular season, that's a great way to get started. First drive of the season, what a nice completion.
Blue down. 6 guys. Check 6 guys. Deuce.
Ballage. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
Well, that one was over before it could get rolling. How about the D just knifing into the backfield and shutting that one down?
Hey, watch the slant.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. Got a man open. That's Devontae Parker complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 30.
1st down, Dolphins.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 30-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Hill. And some room to roam now. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great effort there with his first career touchdown in his first career game. And the Dolphins take it right down and score on the opening drive. Jason Sanders now for the extra point. And that makes it 7-0 Dolphins.
Next the score, Dolphins 7, Raiders 0.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Now, 2-52. 180. We're good. 185.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Looking left sideline, it's complete. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
7 yards there and a first down.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
Show it up. Watch the twist. Watch the twist. Check nickel. Switch. Watch out.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. The Pro Bowler Muhammad Wilkerson brings him down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Check 52's the mic. Bound to lose one.
Carr. Got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And he's got another first down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 14. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6.
Switch. Check 3. Hatchet. Check 9. Check.
Back to the running game with Jacobs. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First and goal, and a chance to get that initial touchdown right back.
Check 13.
They'll run it with Jacobs. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. Second and goal from the 1. Now Carr steps away, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? From the gun, it's Carr. This is caught. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. That pass play good for 7, but it still brings up a 4th and goal. Austin Seibert sets up for the field goal try. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. Seibert able to knock this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. A dozen plays on that drive that ends with the field goal.
Let's go ahead and break out some of the old chestnuts here, right, partner? Keep the ball in front, rally to it, and make the tackle, right? No big plays given up, no balls over your head. Bend, don't break.
Hold on. Chestnuts?
You like that one?
What does that mean, break out? Just because you break chestnuts?
I'm not sure about that, but I'm just going with why they said that. I have no idea.
Next drive. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, I know I'm no brainiac.
A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
People worry about throwing the out route because often it can get jumped, and that can turn into either an incompletion or an interception. But not on that one. Everything came together, and he catches it and goes over the sideline.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Jackson. Looking left sideline, but it's incomplete.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Jackson going to throw again. That's into the hands of Edwards. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
On 3rd down, Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
On 4th down, Matt Hawk is on to punt. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around, 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down.
Well, that's the 2nd time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, They've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
To try again after the sack. Carr. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Nice play there to force the incompletion. And to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
So it wasn't the line that jumped that time, the second level.
No, that's a great observation because most of the time it's those guys up front so eager to get off on the snap. They do it, but in this case, you're exactly right. Second level, probably because they moved up to the first level, and that hurts them.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some. Here we go, here we go. Wide, get wide.
On third and long, it's Carr. Flush to his right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow.
The Dolphins take over first and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
Check. Cross. It's a 50 off. 58. Mike. Carter. 58.
Jackson now to throw again. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Grant. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They run it with Valage. He'll get about 4 as he's past the 35 to the 38-yard line. I think you mentioned in the opening drive that these guys needed to establish the run, protect the young QB. I actually wrote that down, believe it or not. So how would you assess things so far?
I'm kind of touched that you actually wrote something like that down. I appreciate that, partner. But I do think they've been able to do that. Maybe not as effectively as they've wanted to, but I think we'll see more of as this game goes along because they want to continue to take care of that young QB.
The Dolphins going to take their second timeout. So as they take it over, we step aside. From the 38, Jackson. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
Third and 2, here's Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. 2 minutes to play in this first half. 7-3, our score. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. On second down now. It's Jacobs, and to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. That one a first down pickup of 8. Carr now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Sherman, and he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That one goes for 30 yards.
I'll tell you what, partner, let me go nostalgic here for a moment. You just don't see fullbacks use as weapons like we're seeing right now. Just think about 20 years ago. You had guys like Mike Allstott, Tom Rathman, Moose Johnston in Dallas. Now, it's almost something you never see. Throwing it to the fullback and letting him make a big play.
On first down, Carr. Eluding the pressure right. And now he's going to use his legs. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
Into the red zone. It's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
Where's 52? Black 52.
Carr going to throw. That's going to be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. They come out here in the eye. So it's first and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break.
52, Mike 52. Oh, here we go. Oh. Hey, Mike 52, Mike 52.
Carr now to throw. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal here.
No, 7:34.
Throwing now is Carr. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. From the left hash, he'll have to cut this at a tight angle. Seibert's kick is good. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
Come on, baby, let's go. Get excited. Let's go. Let's go.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. To throw again. Carr, nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Carr and the Raiders following the sack, looking up at a 3rd and long. Now Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now Balaj. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Jackson, and that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete to his tight end, Mike Gesicki. And he's going to get the first down as they bring him down at the 23. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
Hurry, 53, Mike.
They'll throw on first down with Jackson. They'll set up the screen to Balaj. Only 3 there on the screen at 2nd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short game.
On 2nd down, Hill. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down.
Yeah, that was a safety that came through and made the play. But there's no doubt in my mind, he hits like a linebacker. We see a lot of that in today's NFL, don't we?
And that time we do indeed. A big hit for a loss. On 3rd down, Jackson. Escaping the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Max Crosby drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it, but it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Looking downfield for Jones. Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 61 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead. And play clock winding down here, and a timeout is called. Just their first of the half, so they'll talk this one over. And now Jason Garrett electing for his guys to try for 2.
Check, check. Lucky. Undercrunch. Kill.
Shotgun now for Carr. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Should have been picked. Probably doesn't matter on a 2-point conversion, but still, as a former DB, you want to grab that ball when you can, don't you?
You certainly do, and don't say it, because I know you're thinking it. Don't say it.
What am I thinking?
You know I know what you're thinking. Well, if he'd had hands, he'd be playing on offense, right?
That's true. You've said that before.
Here we go.
25-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Jackson. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And it's caught by Parker. And he will have the first down as he gets this to the 47. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And they give this time to the tailback. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. In on the stop, it's Tahir Whitehead.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And his throw is going to be incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And that'll make it 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Here's Jackson to throw on 3rd down. And this is Parker, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 18. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
At the 10-yard line. That's the end of the third quarter.
And they won't be able to run another play. Time has expired on this third quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Jackson will throw again. Forced out to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And he will score. Touchdown, Miami. A 10-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are going to jump back in front. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? But I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Give me that ball, defense! Give me that ball! Give me that ball, defense!
Jackson from the shotgun. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, that decision to me was all about pulling up the chart. You know, that beautiful chart that tells you when to go for 2, when to go for 1. I do love it. It helps you with your decision-making during heated times. And you just look at it right here in this point of the game. Go for 2. Try and make it a field goal difference.
But now just up 1 makes the rest of this fourth quarter a little more interesting.
Yeah, they followed the chart. They just didn't get the 2 points on the board, did they?
Nope. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And following that long touchdown pass, a 1-play drive last time, to see if the defense, you know they're ready. They don't want that to happen again.
And you would have thought they would have been ready the last time. That's what you work on all the time. Make sure that no one gets behind you. That's the cardinal sin of defense, not giving up the long pass. They did. Let's see how they adjust.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Carr. And he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. A gain there of 21 yards. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
My 52. I got one.
Throwing on first down, it's Carr. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20.
Watch the curl, watch the curl, watch the curl.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. Here's Carr to throw. Catch made. It's Moreau. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. That tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still 3rd and long.
Defense, let's go. Check 52's the mic. Check 52's the mic. Right. Check. Switch. Whip. Watch the whip. Check 26. Check 24. Check 24. OP.
From the gun, Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And now it's the punter Weil on as he sends this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
And no room to maneuver there. Give him a yard up to the 47. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
On 2nd and 9, Jackson. Now a short one to Gesicki. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. That'll be 3rd down.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. From the gun, it's Jackson going for the deep ball. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Jason Verrett. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. It's a gain of 22 as we tick towards 2:22 on the clock. Some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. Carr defers to Jacobs on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. He's back to throw. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Now you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
Travel. Hey, 734. Switch it.
On 1st down, Jacobs looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. This is caught. Watkins. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
Mike 52. Let's go, D. Raider 9. Mike 52. Watch the curl. Hey, Echo. 52's the Mike, boy. 52. Put that down. You can't block me. Slam. Check 4.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. And the delay of game penalty makes this much more difficult. 3rd and 8. Back to throw. The quick slant caught. He didn't get the touchdown, but he did get the 1st down as he's tackled at the 1. The Dolphins going to take their 2nd timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And the question now, how do they want to work the clock here on 1st and goal? A field goal would give them the late lead. Here's Jacobs. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the 4th.
Wow. I know it's a never say never situation, But to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30 to the 33-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. They're down here in a one-score game. At the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Here's Jackson. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
58 to Mike, 58 to Mike. Watch the slant, watch the slant.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep down, and this will be caught at the 30. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
Good throw there, and I don't want to blow it too out of proportion, but he looks a lot more comfortable in his second season.
You can tell he put the work in the offseason, and what I mean by that is understanding the playbook. Not just the plays and how to execute them, but how to do it against a variety of defenses. Also understands his team better, what they can and cannot do. You can see the confidence rising in him as he plays.
Here's Jackson.
I know we have individual nines, but I think we're thinking as one on this one, and one was the number, wasn't it?
Yeah, kick the extra point. Now you need a miracle. You need an onside kick quickly and to do something spectacular.
I mean, going for two there, either they felt like this is all we've got left, we've got to win it right now, or they've got some incredible miracle special teams play to get the ball back and give them one last chance.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays.
And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Work to be done here on 2nd and 16 after the sack.
Hey, let's get this. Watch who's right feet. Watch the ship. Watch the edge. White. Showing it. Showing it.
Carr to throw. He's going to let it fly. And he can't corral it. That would have wrapped it up if he'd been able to hold on. Instead, it brings up third down. Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
52. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
To throw is Carr. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as he'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game. 1 score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down.
Watch out. Watch out. Ain't no way.
Carr going to go on 4th down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And this is incomplete with a clock showing just 3 seconds left. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And defensively, that might just seal a Week 1 victory.
Ready? 15 on it. 15 on it. Come on. Hey, watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Shit. Anyway. Shit.
And they're going to take it all the way down and just take the delay. So that'll back them up 5.
Bring it up.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is Week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah,
Preseason football,
yeah,
where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for Miami, they can breathe a sigh of relief as they're able to eke out the 1-point victory here in the opener. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.